This is Neil. He's going to be talking about wellness today. It's the middle of the semester, so I know a lot of us might be needing it. And he is a counselor from the SED, so it's really nice to have someone from the outside. That's one of the cool things for virtual events. So yeah, take it
Yeah,
away,
thank you.
Neil.
Thank you for having me. I actually was just in the NCD earlier this week. I was in Indiana for a couple days. And for those that I'll be honest, I don't know where all the chapters are in the NCD, but I was at Purdue, IU, and IUPUI, and nobody came up and said hi to me. But it's fine. It's fine. I'll remember that next national convention. Yeah. I'm kidding. Okay, so let me go ahead and share my screen. And that too. We'll go to this one. Okay, can everyone see that? Beautiful. All right, well, thank you all for having me. As Misty said, my name's Neil. My last name is Bleiweiss. It's easier to pronounce than it looks. And I'm here to chat with you all today a little bit about mindfulness and wellness. So just to introduce myself, obviously I am a Southeast District Counselor. I am from the Alpha Omega chapter at Florida State University, go Noles. And I currently work at the University of South Florida. So I live in Tampa, Florida, which is where the Iota Chi chapter is located. But to get us started, rather than just jumping straight into real presentation, we're actually going to start with a short little activity, a body scan. So let me go ahead and pull that up. So what we're going to be doing, it's a progressive muscle relaxation. And I don't know if anyone's ever done one of these before, but it's essentially a short exercise. It's going to take a couple of minutes to really relax your mind and your body by progressively tensing and relaxing different muscle groups throughout. So you're going to tense each of these muscle groups vigorously, and I'm going to guide you through it. And what's important here is you're going to tense them, but without straining. So don't, push yourself to exertion, and then you'll release the tension and feel that muscle relax. Each muscle group we're going to tense for about 5 seconds. If you find that you have any pain or discomfort at any of these areas, just feel free to skip it. It's totally okay if you want to omit that one. So throughout the exercise, I would suggest thinking of the muscles tensing and kind of a wave of relaxation flowing over you in each of these areas as you release the tension. And it's also very important that you keep breathing throughout the exercise. So with that said, we will begin. So first, find a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down in a location where you won't be interrupted. And allow your attention to focus only on your body. So make sure you're sitting comfortably. If you begin to notice your mind wandering, bring it back to the muscle group that you're working on. So we'll start by taking a deep breath through your abdomen, holding for a few seconds, and exhaling slowly. As you breathe, notice that your stomach is rising and your lungs are filling with air. So deep breath in, and then as you exhale, imagine the tension in your body being released and flowing out. And again, inhale, and exhale, and feel your body start relaxing. As we go through each step, remember to keep breathing. So we'll begin with our tension now. We'll start by tightening the muscles in your forehead by raising your eyebrows as high as you can and hold that for about 5 seconds. 2, 1, and release, feeling that tension fall away. Now smile widely, feeling your mouth and your cheeks tense. Hold that for about 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, appreciating the softness in your face. Next, tighten your eye muscles by squinting your eyelids tightly shut. And we'll hold that for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Gently pull your head back as if to look at the ceiling. We'll lean back. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, feeling the tension melting away. And now feel the weight of your relaxed head and your neck sink. We'll breathe in and out. In and out. We're letting go of all of the stress of midterms. Another breath in, another breath out. Now tightly, but without straining, clench your fists and hold this position until I say stop. So just clench them tight. And release. Now flex your biceps. Feel that buildup of tension. You may even visualize that muscle tightening. We'll hold that for a few seconds. And release, enjoying that feeling of limpness. Another breath in, another breath out. Now tighten your triceps by extending your arms out and locking your elbows. Hold this for a few seconds. You may crack a little bit, that's totally okay. And release. Next one's my favorite one. Lift your shoulders up as high as you can, as if they could touch your ears, and then hold that for a few seconds. Release. Feeling the heaviness in the shoulders. Now, tense your upper back by pulling your shoulders back to try and make your shoulder blades touch. Now tighten your chest by taking a deep breath in and hold it. And exhale, blowing out all the tension. Next, we'll tighten the muscles in our stomach by sucking in and hold that for a few seconds. And release. Gently arch your lower back. You can do that by leaning forward from where you're sitting from the stomach. Release that. Feel the limpness in your upper body, letting go of tension and stress. Take another deep breath in, back out. Now tighten your butt. Hold it for a couple seconds. Just tighten that butt. And then release. Imagine your hips falling loose from where they are. Next, tighten your thighs by pressing your knees together as if you were holding a penny between them. And release. Now, flex your feet, pulling your toes towards you and feeling the tension in your calves. And relax. Feel the weight of your legs sinking down. Next, curl your toes under by tensing your feet. Peace. Now imagine a wave of relaxation slowly spreading through your body, beginning at your head and going all the way down to your feet. And feel the weight of your relaxed body. And take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One more, in through the nose, big deep breath in and out through the mouth. And that completes our body scan. So I hope that that got you all feeling relaxed, refreshed, and a little bit rested on this lovely Saturday morning. Also, if anyone wants a copy of that, I'm happy to let Misty send out my email and I can send it to you later. So what are we talking about today? We're talking about mindfulness, the 8 dimensions of wellness, the wheel of wellness, which is another activity that you can do on your own time. Some questions to check in with yourself when you're feeling stressed or when you feel like you need that kind of mindfulness check-in. A couple of habits that can promote wellness, some resources and where to seek help if you need anything additional. And then we'll actually close out with a short mindfulness meditation, which some of you may have done those before, some of you may not. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in the next few slides. So mindfulness is essentially the basic human ability to be fully present and aware of where we are and what we're doing, and not being overly reactive or overly overwhelmed by what's going on around us. There are 7 sort of recommended attitudes to take when approaching a mindfulness activity. The first of which is being non-judging and non-judgmental. You are essentially being impartial to your own experience as you're in that moment and just witnessing and being present. Being patient, remembering that things take time. Mindfulness is not a one and done, boom, done, next, you're set for life. It is an ongoing practice, so to speak, and it can really bring a lot of positives to just the way that your day flows over time. Remember to have a beginner's mind and remain open and curious about the different activities you may try or about the way that your experience feels, but also to stay trusting of yourself and of your feelings. It's okay to make mistakes. Mindfulness is a non-striving practice. There's not a goal to achieve of doing a mindfulness activity. The goal is really just to be with yourself and in the moment. Additionally, you want to be accepting, see things as they are, but also letting go. Your mind wants to hold on to experiences, it wants to hold on to thoughts, it wants to hold on to emotions. Let your mind drift when you are practicing mindfulness and go where it wants so that you can experience what you're experiencing right now. There are 8 dimensions of wellness that go along with kind of this overarching topic. And largely these apply to all different areas of our bodies and our lives. So essentially different ways to kind of factor out the experiences that you're having around your life and help you kind of focus on areas that you may want to improve or balance. So we have emotional and mental wellness, which is understanding of our feelings and being able to share those feelings. Oh, I see a chat. Yes, exactly, Carrie. Not everything is ends or goal driven. Absolutely. So we have emotional and mental wellness. That's probably the one that everyone is most familiar with, aside from physical wellness a little further down. Environmental wellness. So what we do impacts the quality of our environments around us, not just the literal environment of, the trees, the grass, the lakes, etc., but also our homes, our communities, our campuses. Financial wellness, technically also considered under the 8 dimensions. So relationship with money. Obviously, as a student, this may be a little bit more intangible and in flux before you reach, adulting, as some people say. Intellectual wellness, probably also very top of mind for all of you as students right now. The ability to open your mind and really rely on that mental ability to learn new things and apply knowledge. Occupational wellness, a sense of fulfillment that we get from our job or for our field or an area of study as a student. Physical wellness, oops, health of our physical body, obviously. Social wellness, our connections to other people. Congratulations, you are all working on that right now by being here and connecting to the rest of your district. We love to see it. And spiritual wellness. This one is not always for everyone. I mean, it's the connection to the universe, not necessarily just to faith, but finding behaviors that really harmonize with the beliefs that we carry individually, whether that be through religion or through another source. Again, it is also considered under the dimensions of wellness. So one activity that I have for you, which we're not going to do as part of this session, just because it would require everyone to draw a little bit, but it's called the Wheel of Wellness. And you're welcome to take a screenshot of this. Again, if someone wants a copy, I can always send it to you later. But essentially, this wheel is broken up into 8 sections, one for each dimension. And you'll see on the left-hand side, I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it goes from 0 out all the way to 10, each ring being a number from 1 to 10. Essentially, with this activity, what you would do is, once you have a copy of the wheel in front of you, for each dimension, you follow the dotted line of where you would rank that in your life at this time. At the end, it usually looks pretty clunky. It is not a wheel that would roll well, but it is a way to illustrate things that you may want to work on in your life and in your wellness. Whether that be, that things are a little bit rough right now with physical health. I, for example, was in a car accident last summer. I'm fine, thankfully. But I can say physical wellness was a little bit lower on the scale for the latter half of last year. So I know for me, that was an area that I would have put a bit lower and now has gradually worked its way a little bit back towards closer to 10. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer. Uh, but by having this wheel, the thing that's important to remember is not all of these have to be at 10. They don't all have to be perfectly in balance. And again, some of these will vary based on your priorities at the time. What's most important is that you find a balance that is harmonious for you and makes the most sense for you in your life at the time that you're at. Again, this is just a way to visualize things that you can look at improving as you go forward. So a couple of questions to check in. And actually, before I even talk about any of these questions, I want to jump all the way down to the very bottom. It's okay not to have all the answers. It's okay not to have all the action steps of how to move forward with something. It's okay to be unsure. And it's important that you know that. Additionally, there's not always a right answer to every question, and that's okay too. So these questions here are kind of guided, again, mindfulness questions. I actually stole them from the counseling center here at the University of South Florida campus. So I will say they were pre-written by a licensed mental health counselor. I did not come up with them on my own. But to walk through each of these, again, you don't have to ask yourself all of these every day, but if you are finding that you're in a moment of stress and anxiety, or you just need to check in with yourself, this is a good way to do that. That is minimally invasive to your day, can just take some time, breathe a little bit, and check in. So the first one, how do I feel right now? Have I done a body scan? How is my body feeling? Am I experiencing different sensations like soreness or tightness, warmth, cold? Am I tender for some reason, etc.? How am I emotionally feeling? Where am I at in that regard? And then of those things, what is the most powerful sensation right now? So what does that part of my body really want from me at this moment? Am I starving and I didn't realize it until right now? Did I suddenly strain my ankle earlier today and now that's killing me and I need to elevate my leg? What does your body want from you in this moment? An important question that you can ask yourself every day: what have I eaten today? When did I eat? Where did I eat? As humans, obviously, we know the body can survive for a while without food, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't eat. Even if your body says you're not hungry, you should always at least eat something, even if it's, a couple of crackers instead of skipping dinner. Make sure you eat, keep your body fed and keep your body sustained. What exercise did I do today if I have done any exercise? What did I do today that felt good? Again, more often than not, I find, at least for myself, if I'm asking myself questions like this, I'm not feeling great at the time. So reflecting on things that I've done today that felt good to me, or things that make me feel grateful for different elements of my life can really help kind of ground and bring you back to a bit of a center. One expression that you may or may not have heard or seen on social media or just in other places, an attitude of gratitude. Having moments where you can acknowledge things you're grateful for can help really, again, ground you back into your life, but also increase the amount of gratitude you feel for the things and the people around you. As I sit quietly, what memories, thoughts, or feelings really surface about my day and about today's activities of things that I completed? How am I feeling about the experiences I had in my day? I mean, I know at this point it's obviously still early, but how are you feeling about, how your morning's been? Did you have a coffee that you liked? Did you sleep in a little bit, which I did? How did you enjoy the first part of the session? How did you feel about the body scan we did a few minutes ago? What kind of feelings are surfacing about the way my day is going so far? This one, again, it's okay to not have every action step. Do I need to do anything to complete unfinished interactions or feelings? What do I need right now to feel complete, resolved, and at peace? Some of these things may be out of your control, and that's also important to recognize. You can't always solve everything. Or sometimes things may rely on other people, and that's okay. Sometimes it just requires patience. Again, we're going back to those attitudes of mindfulness. Patience is key. I know it's hard. It's probably the most challenging thing, especially for me, since I'm very high strung. But remembering that not everything is always in my control, in my hands. I can only do the best I can at any given time. Also, for anyone who's a fan of Waitress, it's a great musical. We can only do the best we can. How can I go about meeting my needs right now? What action steps do I need to do? Again, you may not have an answer to this, but at least by sitting and checking in, you're off to a good start to at least find something to bring yourself back to center. What are my dreams or daydreams? Is there a message for me in any of these dreams? This may be harder to interpret. You might not even have vivid dreams, or maybe you don't remember them very well. In which case, I would say it's more so the latter half of the question. What am I daydreaming about? What am I thinking about? What is my brain trying to either effectively or sometimes ineffectively tell me? And then what's the message for me in this day? What do all of these things seem like they are leading me towards at the end of the day? Where am I going with this information and how I'm feeling and what I've experienced? And um, again, meeting my needs from all of these things together. And like I said, it's okay to not have all the answers or to not have all the action steps. A couple of habits that can promote wellness. These are just some examples. There are, of course, all kinds of different things, and I will ask for some participation at the end of this slide. But the first one, and this is, I would say, usually one of the most important, yes, try to get some sleep, even if it's only a little bit, because there is no such thing as catching up on sleep. That is not how the body works. You don't carry a negative balance that you can catch up on later. Your body only gets what it gets each night. And the less you sleep, the more really negatively impactful pieces it can have on you, both cognitively, behaviorally, and also physically as well. So the next time you think about taking an all-nighter, try not to. I know it's hard in school to avoid, but even if you only get 2 or 3 hours of sleep, that's at least some time for your body to catch up and refresh. Making smart food choices. This is the one I probably struggle with the most because I am a little bit bad in that I love to treat myself. Hashtag treat yourself. It's okay to do that sometimes, but you got to keep as smart of food choices as you can to help sustaining your body in a healthy way. Sweat it out. Try to find a fitness activity that you can do and enjoy doing, because then you are more likely to do it for at least about 20 minutes a day or at a time to really promote your heart health. Number 4, hydrate. Drink some water. Everyone, if you have a bottle of water next to you, please take a sip of it now. Make sure you get a little bit of water in your system. I understand that we all love coffee. I understand that we all love food. Those also carry water in them, but having at least a glass of pure water can be good for you. Spending some time outside. I know that this can be challenging, especially if it gets a little too cold or if the weather is, inclement. Please don't go outside in a storm just to get outside. But try and find those opportunities when it's safe and reasonable to do so. Or if that's not possible, see if there's resources around for things like light therapy, which if you've never heard of it, there are these lamps that you can either buy for yourself, or sometimes I know a couple of college campuses actually have these, or there are counseling centers that may have them, or other places where they are lights that actually simulate the feeling of daylight. So you're able to spend some time sitting in front of a lamp, very much like a moth, I guess. But it gives you a kind of a simulated sensation of daylight to increase vitamin D in your body. And then practicing a mindfulness activity of some kind, whether that be meditation, which can be done sitting, standing, walking, laying down, or moving in another way, doing yoga, taking just a short pause or a breather. Again, coloring is another option, finding a way to check in with yourself. But with that, I would love to know, what are some activities that you all do for your own wellness? And please feel free to either unmute yourself or put it in the chat. I will turn it all to you.
I don't do it as often as I should, but I like to read a
Oh,
lot.
yeah, absolutely. Then Rachel, I see your hand raised.
Sometimes when I get in a situation where I'm upset, luckily I have a car that's on campus. So if it were to happen while I'm at school, I'll just go in the car by myself, maybe just turn on some music and just drive around campus just to take my mind off things.
Yeah, absolutely. I love to blast some music and sing really loud, which probably drives my neighbors insane. So I can relate to that. And then I see we've got make art, cook or bake for myself, take walks and listen to music, writing. Absolutely. There's no wrong answer when it comes to wellness, unless it is, legitimately a clearly unhealthy choice to do said activity. So really anything can work for this answer, as long as it's giving you a moment to, again, take a break from whatever's happening, take a breath, relax, refresh, check in. That's what's most important. You've got to make sure to check in with yourself. Like I said, there's no real wrong answer to this question, with a couple exceptions. So as far as resources and seeking help, again, before I go to this little list, I want to jump to the text I have right in the middle of the page. It is okay to ask for help. That is probably the hardest part of anything when it comes to mindfulness, wellness, or mental health. I'll be honest, recently I found myself having to ask for some help. So it is okay to do that. And even here, I only have a couple of examples listed. Again, certainly not an exhaustive resource by any stretch, but just a few examples. There are quite a lot of different apps that you can download for mindfulness, like Calm. Headspace is another one, which they actually, I believe, have a series on Netflix as well that you can watch. Happy Not Perfect is another one that I really like. And that's actually one that I use pretty regularly, focused more on my goal is to be happy, not to be perfect. And I think that's an important attitude to have overall with mindfulness in general. There are all kinds of different YouTube videos out there. Again, especially if you find yourself a fan of doing a mindfulness meditation, which again, we are going to do one. So I hope you're excited for that. But there are all kinds of YouTube videos, Tai Chi classes, 5-minute yoga, again, different breathing exercises, really anything you can think of. There are plenty of different available videos for that. There are also certain books, if you find that you are more of a reader or you're into kind of those types of books. One that I know of that I like is called Taming Your Gremlin, which is actually focused on the idea of giving that little voice that nags in the back of your brain that says, hey, today you suck at this thing, or hey, you're not really good at this, or, you look ugly today, or whatever it is, and giving that a name and helping kind of put that under control. And they refer to it as a gremlin, and there's some really funny art in the book, so I like it a lot. Another one that's a little bit more theory-based, as an example, is called Readiness for Change by Prochaska. And it's about the stages of change and how to make change in your life and what that looks like, and understanding that you're not always ready to make a change. Sometimes you have to get there. There are stages to it. And then additionally, before I get to these last two bullets, there are licensed and certified health and wellness coaches. There's an organization called ICHC, which is the International Coalition of Health Coaches, if I remember correctly. And they do have a lot of different members around the country, some of whom are at different universities. So your institution may actually offer this already. Others you may have to look and kind of seek out if that's something you're looking for. But a wellness coach, again, can work with you on kind of rounding out that wheel from earlier. Effective goal setting, building healthy habits, things to that effect. But if you find that you need more than that and you really are looking for more of a mental health resource, depression, anxiety, it's all very real. We should reduce the stigma around mental health and seeking treatment for it. So it is important to know what resources are available for you. As students, you should at all of your institutions have access to a counseling service of some kind if you find that you need it, or if someone else might be struggling. Usually those are free and are available to you, again, pretty much most of the time the university is open. Or of course, finding other mental health providers outside of that. If you need, again, those types of resources, they are there for you. Use them if you need them. Again, it is okay to ask for help. If there's anything else if you forget all of the rest of this, I want you to at least remember that point. So with that said, we will go to our mindfulness meditation. This is one that I found on YouTube. Again, I can send out the link later if you want it. And I also apologize if you all can hear my neighbors being really loud upstairs. But we will go ahead and we'll listen to this short meditation. I encourage you to find a comfortable seated position. This will guide us all together through it. I'm going to participate as well because, again, I love doing these. But I will go ahead and mute myself and go ahead and start us off on our mindfulness.
Hey there, and thanks for gifting yourself these next few minutes. It's important to remember that you're a priority, and allowing yourself even just a few short minutes of intentional reflection can really have a positive impact on the rest of your day. So let's use these next few minutes to come back to center and set an intention for the rest of your day. Move into a comfortable position, whether you're seated at your desk at work or laying on the couch at home, and gently close your eyes and shift all of your attention onto your breathing, taking slower, deeper breaths than you've taken all day so far. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and slowly letting it out through your mouth. And continuing to breathe that way, feeling your lungs expand out as you inhale and contract back in as you exhale. Tune into your body, noticing how it feels. Noticing if there's anything that it's trying to tell you. Notice any place of tension or tightness in your body. And give those areas permission to relax, sending love into those areas. Thank your body for taking such good care of you, and let it know that it's okay to rest and relax for these next few minutes. You may notice that your mind starts to wander off. That's okay. That's natural. Just notice it and bring your attention back to your body, using your breath as your anchor. Try to picture one thing that's happened today that's made you smile, or made you thankful or appreciative. And just let that feeling fill you up for a moment. Breathe that feeling in from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And allow yourself to smile if that feels natural. Now focus on something that you can do today, whether it's for yourself or for someone else, that will allow you to continue feeling this way. It could be something as small as deciding to go to bed early tonight, so that you have time to finally read that book that's been on your bedside table. Or the joy of getting dinner with a close friend. What's one little thing you can plan for your day to bring that intentional joy to it? Now just focus on that for a few minutes. Sit in that feeling of joy and peace. Now let's take a few more deep breaths together. A deep breath in, feeling your lungs expand out as you inhale, and everything contract back in as you exhale. Again, an even deeper breath than the one before it, holding that breath for a beat, and exhaling everything out. Last time, your deepest breath yet, sending that breath through your entire body. And exhale it out. And in your own time, slowly bring your awareness back to where you are. And thank yourself for taking these few minutes to just be intentional and kind to yourself. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and enjoy the rest of your day.
Hope everyone enjoyed that few minutes. Again, it's always nice to just take a moment to breathe. But with that, that actually brings me to the end. So I do want to say thank you all again so much for having me this morning. And thank you for going with me on this journey and participating in these activities. I will go ahead and stop my screen share.